Hello! In today's Archaeoscoop, my top 3 headlines are as follows. Headline number 1 is actually a bit of a pleasure to present. It's based on some research from Valencia in Spain. And it's actually a paper. It's not very often that I get to share peer-reviewed papers and research with you guys. And this particular bit of research is really actually quite interesting. It's to do with Neanderthals and whether or not they may have used toothpicks to alleviate dental discomfort and keep their oral hygiene going, as it were. Now, this research specifically examines marks on teeth and whether or not that may indicate the use of toothpicks. And you may think, well, that's not particularly exciting. But actually, when you're trying to piece together the lifestyle of a species, a human species, for whom we only have bone evidence, any little detail is priceless. So the use of toothpicks actually adds yet another layer to our understanding of Neanderthals, their capabilities and the possibilities for that species. So it's a real pleasure to be able to point you in the direction of this paper. Usually they can't, usually I can't share them because they're behind a paywall. You have to subscribe to a journal in order to see an article. So in this instance, do go and enjoy it. Take a look and see what you think. Neanderthals and toothpicks. That's headline number 1. Headline number 2 actually represents something of a scoop for Archaeoscoop. Last night I published a news article on archaeoscoop.com, which is actually a full 24 hours, it seems, ahead of the regular press. It's to do with an excavation which has been ongoing in Darlington in County Durham, and a friend of mine in particular actually put me in a position to be aware of this site by actually taking some photos from their office window. Yesterday a sort of press release of sorts was released, and I thought, well, I might as well jump in and share the news. Basically, as the excavation in a car park behind the town hall in Darlington sort of proceeded, my friend was seeing a series of interesting rooms appear, and she was wondering what on earth are they. And it seems now that the team are in a position to announce what they are. I won't reveal what they are because actually the article does bear reading, and also, frankly, that's part of the thing. People weren't quite sure. It was a big mystery. So please do check it out. And as I say, I'm very excited. It represents, a mini scoop for Archaeoscoop. That's headline number 2. Headline number 3 comes from a village in Turkey, which happens to sit on the site of an old Roman city. Villagers are feeling what can only be described as being harassed by the past. They're being forced to adhere to very strict building control regulations because, in the name of protection for the historical site. Now, I'm all for that, for the protection of historic monuments and sites and landscapes. But in this instance, it sounds a little bit as though it's actually hampering life, modern life, in the village. Young people, when they get married, they're having to move away to find somewhere to set up home because they're not allowed to redo homes in the village, by the sounds of it. And also, as well, relatively slight instances where people have modified a home or even thought they actually had permission, it seems, are actually leading to lawsuits. Again, all in the name of protecting this Roman site. Now, this really speaks to the balance which must be sought between protection and accepting that people have to live. You can't preserve everything in the whole world, otherwise no one will be able to move, never mind live. So in some ways I imagine there is a balance to be sought, and this is actually a really interesting case study for that. I do feel for the people involved. It does sound like a very difficult situation to live in. But also as well, I imagine that there must be something which can be learned here, both for the authorities involved in it's a site which has been on their database since 1985. But also as well for people just observing, just to see, well, actually maybe we can try and avoid that happening on this particular site here. People need to live just as much as we need to protect the past. So a really difficult balance, and it feels a little bit as though this one is going slightly the wrong way. That's headline number 3. So there you go, those are my top 3 headlines today. For those and other news stories from the past few days, please do check out the links in the video information as ever. There are plenty interesting links to take a look at, and crucially as well, there are slightly more than usual because I wasn't able to do an Archaeoscoop last week. Anyway, there you go. Please do enjoy, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.